Hey guys, I'm here with Rod.
Hello.
He let me out today, so just just starting to feel a little bit better and getting some energy back and starting to rebound and wanted to do a Q&A. So Rod, hit it.
Q&A time. Here we go. Okay, your first question is from Bobby Lawson. She says, "Oh, so sorry about you feeling sick with the flu.
Oh,
That could
thank
be
you, Bobby.
awful." Her question though is, um, how are you dealing with your nausea, and how are you eating through having nausea?
That's a great question, Bobby, because as you know, nausea is hard to eat through and to tolerate, right? Especially when it's going on incessantly and there's not much of a reprieve. I've tried ginger. They have anti-nausea medication for patients like who experience chemo. I have had that. I've tried CBD oil. Trying to think what else. Peppermint, different types of foods, maybe like a crackers or a chip. And the way I have to combat it is that I know the food is going to make me nauseous, but I'm nauseous when I don't have food. So it's better to do something positive, right? And get that GI working. I distract as much as I can with conversation or, something stimulating. Talking to you guys, it helps get through those bumps. And when you have to eat when you're nauseous, I'm just trying to take my mind to a different place. And because food right now is medicine, right? That's really the only medication that's going to fix this.
Does activity help a little bit if you're moving around at all? Or?
When I notice if I have just eaten, I will get very fatigued because the blood rush is there. But I notice if I can move around and get activity, that helps because it gets that blood flow. And I might do that with talking or something engaging because you need multiple distractions. And if anyone has any suggestions, please feel free to comment or talk about it. You don't have to have this problem. People experience nausea for all sorts of reasons. So any advice and to create a forum, please let us know.
Awesome. So we have a question from Jasmine from Norway, and
Jasmine.
she is curious about what you experienced with refeeding, and does it make you lose weight, even more weight, when you're going through refeeding?
Jasmine, great question. Actually, refeeding doesn't happen to everyone. But for me, for some reason, it happens every time. And it's when your body goes hypermetabolic, where your metabolism speeds up. And what it feels like is like you start eating, right? And then after a while, your heart starts accelerating. You feel flushed, you sweat. After some meals, I would even lie down and my heart would tick at like
You get
150.
ravenous too, right?
Yeah, I'm getting to that part. I would lie down and my heart would tick at like 150 beats a minute. It was like I just did exercise. And what that does, it excites your metabolism. And then you start burning like crazy because your body's healing. It's going, I need this calorie, I need this calorie. And you can actually put yourself in a weight loss. That does cause weight loss. When I first went to treatment many, many years ago, I was in a center just with one other person at the time. We were eating about 6 meals a day, and I ate every single meal. But you're confined, right, with in this tiny space. So there were employees who are recording it all. Now, my family, when I was allowed to have a visit, you have to earn privileges. And That's another story in itself that I have an opinion on as to it, and there's good sides and downsides to it. But when my family came and saw me, they looked at me like, "You lost weight," and I'm like, "I'm eating. I don't know. What do you? I don't like. You don't." And they didn't tell us that this would happen. So my family's looking at me like I'm a liar, but everything, what they're hearing from the center is different, and then what's being recorded is different. So in reality, I was eating every single meal. Not once did I, because you can't. You're not allowed to leave the table. There's unfortunately, there's repercussions, and which can be good or bad depending on the person. But for me, it was really hard after a while because I couldn't explain it. I didn't know why I was losing weight. I wasn't doing anything. You're watched 24 hours a day. You can't. So that happening, and the results are that I'm losing weight, but the fact that I'm eating, how does that make you lose weight? I mean, none of it made sense, and all I knew was the truth. And then over time, refeeding became more, there's been more awareness about it as well, but there's also a flip side to refeeding. Now, when you start eating again, and at the beginning, it doesn't happen right away. It takes a bit. You start eating after a while, and then all of a sudden you get ravenous, and I mean, oh my gosh, it's like a feeding frenzy, because obviously I'm malnourished, and I've been so malnourished where it wasn't like I wanted food or here's a meal or two there. It had to take repetition. Then all of a sudden this voracious appetite happens. And you feel, or I felt, out of control. Like I just felt like I can't stop eating. And it wasn't a mental thing. It was my body physically demanding, I need to heal my stomach. I need to heal my heart. It heals all your organs, so it will pull every calorie from it. You're no longer having a slow metabolism, right? You're now having a metabolism that's never even been heard of. I mean, I could eat 3,000, 4,000 calories a day and still lose weight.
So what's the downfall of maybe just eating even more than that, just going with it as opposed to inching your way there?
Now, there are two methods. Some people will just also have a tube ingest, and I had done that as well. And what they will do is try to supplement it as much as possible. But then the effect is you could get, by stabilizing that weight, by adding so many, say, an extra imagine 6,000 calories, then your weight can stabilize to stop losing, but then edema can happen. On the flip side, when you have edema, which is water all over your body, your heart can go into failure. And that's what happened. I mean, for me, that's what happened. See, and well, what about just eating till you get full? There's no fullness point either. And that's when you feel scared and out of control and you can't help it. And that's what happened to me. But then there's another way to do it. And this isn't for everyone, but this is what has been done with me, and it's been working a bit more effectively, is by inching it slowly. You can avoid that sudden water or going hypermetabolic by inching those calories just a little bit. Maybe it could just be 1 bite difference that day. That could be all it is. But then you'll see a steady progress, and that's where I'm at. I'm feeling progress.